But listen, if you want to run a pet business in 2026 and you refuse to use AI or you think it's the devil, you're gonna look like a company that still refuses to use scheduling software or a client app. Clients will not always know that you're using AI, but they will feel the difference in your speed, your creativity, your professionalism. Because quite frankly, without AI, you're gonna still continue to be overwhelmed, overworked. And the one thing that so many people have collectively said is, I wish I could clone myself. Now you can. Here comes episode 458 of Bella in Your Business. Welcome to another episode of Bella in Your Business. My name is Bella Vasta, and this may be one of the last episodes of 2025. And as such, we're going to talk a lot today about just how far we've come and what is actually possible. I hope that this episode excites you, delights you, lets your brain start thinking about all the things that are possible this year because of AI. Literally, I'm not exaggerating. There's never been a better time to own a business than right now. The things that we have access to us and the things that we're able to do without having to go out and try to hire somebody is just impeccable. And so if you ignore AI in 2026, and this is like my warning for you, like looking forward, then you're going to look like the sitter who's using pen and paper and not like online scheduling. At the start of this year, back in January 2025, I was trying to have to convince people that like AI was not a fad and that it's actually going to be here to stay. And by the end of the year, like now, I am at the point where most of you are not asking like, is it safe to use? But you're asking, how do I actually use this and be authentic? And that's what I've been here for you every step of the way, kind of pacing with you, but also I have a lot of stuff going on behind the scenes where we're like way far ahead too. And so I want to keep being your strainer. I want to keep showing you exactly what you need to know for your specific pet business, where you're not getting overwhelmed and distracted by all the shiny objects, because AI is a spectrum and you can show up in it as mediocre or like surface level or as deep as possible. And then the things that you can do with it and the breadth of what you can do with it, which I'm going to talk to you about today, is enormous. And so to think that you can only use AI for your pet business is a detriment to your life. And so I only hope that through my ideas and the things that I show you, and if you follow me on my Facebook page, you're going to see actual ways that people are applying it to their life. Earlier today, I posted about a client who we downloaded her entire Hinge profile and went through all of her behaviors. Like we had to analyze all this stuff. Now it came really gross. It was like in JSON files, which is like developer code, okay? Like you can't read this stuff. It doesn't give you a report, it gives you data. But now we can take this data and we can plug it into an AI that's really good at reading spreadsheets, and one that most of you have access to right now, by the way, and then help her redo her profile. Like, I mean, it's wild. If you want to hear that story, go to my profile, Bella Vasta, on my Facebook page. But listen, if you want to run a pet business in 2026 and you refuse to use AI or you think it's the devil, you're going to look like a company that still refuses to use scheduling software or a client app. Clients will not always know that you're using AI, but they will feel the difference in your speed, your creativity, your professionalism. Because quite frankly, without AI, you're going to still continue to be overwhelmed, overworked. And the one thing that so many people have collectively said is, I wish I could clone myself. Now you can. So will you? That's the question. So here's a concrete example of this. And please feel free to write in and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I've observed through my clients that I've been helping one-on-one. Number one, Precise Pet Care is a concrete, perfect example. They have introduced AI. I think it was earlier in the summer. They had like beta testers and then they helped with AI for routes and a couple other things inside their software. I think that's amazing. The interesting thing to me is that Time to Pet used to be like the top dog. Some might argue and say that it is. And when they first came out, they had a really beautiful model where they made so much money off of their subscribers because they made them use these certain gateways for credit cards that they were actually probably, I estimate, again, correct me if I'm wrong, I estimate that they were making more money off of all the credit card fees that they were collecting than their regular membership fees. They're really smart. I didn't like that they didn't just disclose that, but that's neither here nor there. What happened was they were able to innovate and do all these things. People were requesting and they were able to take that money and reinvest it into the business till eventually they sold it. And now the new people that have it don't seem to be coming out with as quick of advances as before. So to some, that might be a little disappointing, but regardless, that's the way the cookie crumbled. And so you've got Time to Pet that stopped, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, but stopped coming out with so many innovations so quickly. And you've still got Precise Pet Care chugging along here. And I was so excited this summer to see Precise Pet Care start integrating AI and integrating AI into their software. I think Adam was doing a really good job with that. I'd love to see more. If there's more companies that are actually using AI, I think that's great. And then that kind of rolls into my example of the mindset shift. At the very beginning of January, I was teaching people in my community how to use AI to do better SOPs so that they could have their know-how written out. With that, we also were taking AI and helping them create training programs. And we were helping them do a lot of stuff in their business. I have a whole list of things that we were doing. Honestly, it's exhaustive. It's like over 30 different things. So we were creating goals for them in a way that was really easier. And it's already changed the way we're doing goals too. I'm going to tell you about it. So we used to do like 90-day goals. We used to think of a goal and then put it into AI and have it help us reverse engineer it. And what I was doing was I was getting themes for 3 months, and then we were breaking it down into affirmations for weeks. And we were breaking it down into positive sayings or like things that we can remind. And then we were breaking it down into actual tasks that you could do every single day that would get you to your goal. So AI was doing all the thinking for us. That sounded pretty cool, didn't it? Yeah, but hi, it's 11 months later and we've already evolved that. Right now, what we're doing in the mastermind is I created a bot that talks to my members for about 45 minutes, give or take. And it comes out with this whole entire like hypnosis mantra thing. And then they can like record it just on their phone, just very basic, very slow to almost put them in a trance. Yeah, like we're literally doing that. And then it's not just enough for them to hear themselves, which is huge. Let me back up a minute. You've heard me say this, haven't you? I'm going to remind you, your brain doesn't know the difference between reality and fantasy. Your brain doesn't know the difference between something's already happened or you think it's already happened because you've been ruminating and looping all over it. So why not leverage this for our good? That's what we're doing in the mastermind this month to set ourselves up for 2026. So you go through my entire bot, you come out with this amazing output. From that output, we're using AI in a very easy way to create songs, music genres that you like. If it's reggae, if it's pop, if it's rock, if it's anything your little heart desires, we can create. So now you're listening to music that has the words of your future in it instead of, oh, unbreak my heart, I just broke up with my boyfriend, you know? Instead of this music that is often like lower frequency, what like makes you kind of depressed. We're going to speak life into our life. And then we're creating pictures of us in these scenes. And then we're taking those pictures and we're making them into videos and we're doing all of it. It's like literally like you're going to be brainwashing yourself. And we're doing it in increments of 90 days because it's also proven that like our brains can think about where we're going to be in December 2026. Your brain can't comprehend where you're going to be at the end of like next year or 2 or 5 years from now. And so our brain needs these like little dopamine wins so that we can be like, okay, in March, did we make it or did we not make it? Or what did we learn? We have all these trainings and I've done all these trainings. I'm going to go through them with you because I think it's really important to explain all of this stuff. So building a foundation for employees. So that's when we kind of figured out what this one person's goals were. We figured out a whole entire hiring plan, like the whole entire employee love program from Joey Coleman. We did emergency SOPs. One girl, the example was she had a dog bite in her company and she didn't have an SOP for what to do. We have another person who was scaling multi-businesses. So she already had a boarding facility, but she also wanted to scale the training aspect and the pet food aspect of it, optimizing staffing schedules. This has been really fun to watch how it has evolved because at the beginning we were putting in people's addresses and letting it like do it, right? We still kind of had to manually do it. But now at the end of this year, even that has evolved to a better way to do it that's more intuitive. And it's just amazing to create newsletters, to generate headshots, think like your employees, your staff, strengthen business operations like training procedures, SOPs, manuals. Guys, the difference is like you can do all of this stuff. And Chat GPT or Gemini or Claude or Grok, they're always going to give you answers. But if you don't have the strategy and the vision to know if those answers are good enough, or if when they give you the answers, you're not saying things like, now what's wrong with that? Where are your blind spots? Make it better. Then you're not using AI as good as you can. You're not getting as good of results as you potentially could. We have used an AI operator to book a dog walking. I've literally showed my people like an agent has gone in to someone's website and filled out everything and booked a dog walker. Yeah, that could happen. That happened in March of 2025. Creating multiple hiring ads and tones, tweaking websites to get to 100K, creating GPTs for things like care notes or handbooks, manuals, office stuff, how to create an interview process with AI, how to create spot-on client employee profiles for marketing and hiring, how to create press releases, streamline interviews and onboarding and training. Those are 3 different sections: interviewing, onboarding, and training. How to turn your pictures into videos and make them look actually real, like cinematic, like we're talking like Hollywood. I'm not talking about, so many of you guys are using the ChatGPT image model and it shows. Please don't. Please do not use the image model in ChatGPT. In that respect, please don't only be using ChatGPT, because by the end of next year, it's probably not going to be like the big guy in town. I'm only halfway through this list. There's so much more on this list that we've done when it comes to short videos, because this stuff is so easy that every single one of these 30 videos on AI that I have are under 20 minutes. Most of them are about 10 minutes or so, because they're not involved. They're not crazy. It's a matter of changing your mindset when it comes to AI. It's not like, oh, this is so difficult, I have to figure out how to do this software. It's just not. It's easy. What's difficult is creating enough creative space inside your brain to think about the possibilities that are endless for you to be able to do. So this whole entire thing is so, so, so exciting. And I hope that you're on the train, and I hope that you're not missing out. I hope that you're not just always saying, hey, ChatGPT, can you reword this for me? And then you're editing. That's so remedial. And so I really, really, really want to see you guys step up. I'm so excited because in early 25, like a lot of you were in that shock phase, right? You wanted to know if AI would steal jobs, if it was cheating, if it would sound fake. And I got news for you. The answer is yes to all of those, to the people that don't know how to use it. It's like, I don't know, having a really good car and not knowing how to drive it, having a car that is stick and not knowing how to drive it. And so I spent the first part of this year doing a lot of emotional regulation than tech training. I did a lot of explaining the mindset, and I'll continue to do so. I'm actually excited to do so. I'm doing some classes here locally where we're going to talk about things like the difference between talking versus typing, using it for things like diagnosing your car problems, figuring out trip itineraries, conversation starters, analyzing fitness wearables, right? How many of you guys wear something, or maybe a Apple Watch or a ring or something? How often are you using that data and analyzing that data? How often are you taking your blood results or your scans or something and just putting it all in one really big file and letting AI have a whole comprehensive understanding of you so that you could take that report to a doctor? I know at least 4 people who have been able to figure out some complex medical things in their life because they've done deep research and gathered all of their medical documents. And there's a specific way to do it in order to get the answers and then to continue get the answers in the future. This is huge. improve health via different products, like maybe not using endo disruptors. A parenting script writer, maybe you're working on how to do more gentle parenting or something else. Maybe a pattern spotter on your calendar. Where am I using up most of my time? Maybe it's fun little things like take a picture of my palm and tell me if you're a palm reader. You don't have to go to a palm reader anymore. I think that's entertaining. Elf on the Shelf, that's my personal favorite right now. I'll literally take a picture of a room and I'll say, make Elfie get into some mischief. Our elf is named Elfie. There is endless amounts of things that you can do when it comes to AI. And anytime you're doing AI again and again and again on the same thing, that's when you really need to make it into a gem or a style or a GPT. And that's what I talk about. Like I talk about maximizing it. And I want you guys to think about that. I got into my car last week and it wouldn't start. And I didn't know if it was the alternator or if it was the battery. And AI helped me figure out that it was the battery. Not only did it help me figure out that it was the battery, but it also helped me find a solution for all of that too. An outfit generator. I mean, this is like fun stuff for just your life. Maybe you have a dress. Actual story, okay? I have this dress and it's cold in Arizona. And in Arizona, cold is like 55. Go on, laugh at me. That's fine. But when you deal with 118 degrees, that differential is real. And maybe you have a dress and you just upload a picture of you in the dress and you say, help me style this. And it will give you a whole bunch of ways that you can style it. There's so many things that like our brains, we can't process all of these decisions every single day. So why not help you in your life? And I think it's really, really fun. And so my point is that I want you to get curious. I want you to think about like, oh, can I use AI for this? Or, hey, I have this problem. How can you help me solve this? And it will tell you ways. You don't even have to necessarily know if you know the right thing to ask it. The next thing that I really want to encourage you to make sure that you're doing right now, because it's going to make a huge difference in the output that you get. And if people can tell that you're using AI, which by the way, most of you are, and your captions online suck. Yes, I said that. I'm not sorry. I'm here to help you, not tell you you look good in the worst outfit ever. If you don't usually use emojis, don't use them. If you're not using M dashes, don't use them. If you don't have your brand voice in there, don't post it. If you're not putting your keywords in there, absolutely don't post it. Because all you're doing is throwing spaghetti against the wall. That's it. And none of it's going to stick. But let me explain this to you. There is a difference between using AI, and I think this is one thing that a lot of people this year have really started to understand, is a thought partner versus an outsourced brain. So a thought partner is like you bring your ideas, it knows your values. So maybe you're in a project or a gem or a style or a GPT, right? And AI will help you think, draft, iterate, check, and organize, but you still make the decisions. So you're thinking with it. It's like you're having a conversation. You're asking it for your blind spots. You're saying like, what am I missing? You're saying to challenge yourself. You're saying to pretend you're X person and what would you say, positive and negative against it, and really flesh it out. But most people don't do that because they don't know to do that. So now you do because you're listening to the podcast. The other side to that is an outsourced brain. And that's when you paste in a vague prompt, like, hey, want to do this prompt? Now, sometimes, use this prompt is really fun. I've posted a couple of those for you guys, like the wrapped one. If you find my Instagram or my Facebook, I posted it this week, the week that this is happening, and you go find it and you type wrapped underneath it, I'm going to give you this amazing prompt where it's going to go through your AI and it's going to give you kind of like Spotify wrapped, but it's going to give you your ChatGPT wrapped or your Gemini wrapped. It's going to analyze everything that you've done this year with this prompt. It's magical. It's really interesting. Take it all with a grain of salt, but it's really interesting. And so all you got to do is go to my Instagram and find that post and just type wrapped underneath it and it'll give you that. But when you outsource the brain, you paste in a vague prompt and then you copy paste whatever comes out. Or you stop thinking critically. So you let it do all the thinking for you and you don't challenge it. And your content then will start to sound like everybody else because there is like a default AI sound. And so another thing that I think a lot of people forget to do is they stop bringing in real examples from your world. So if you're talking about how to keep your pet obesity month, then why don't you loop in a local pet store or a quote from a vet in your local area and tag them? This is where AI is not going to do the work for you, but this is where you have to know to do the work to make it that triple threat. The consequences of when this happens is like your clients really can feel it. It just feels like either you hired a random copywriter who doesn't understand you, which, oh my God, that stuff's running rampant right now. It makes me cringe. And I'm not just saying that because I do custom content marketing for people, but I'm just saying, like, be a leader and say no to content that people are trying to charge you for that's generic, that doesn't help you. You're not helping your business. Just by saying, yay, I got it done and done is better than nothing, that's not okay in my book, because that is putting out there what your brand is. And if your brand is generic, what's going to happen is that that person is going to go to the next cheapest company or the next company that answers them right away. There's no brand loyalty being developed there. So in 2026, the winners are the ones who are going to use AI as a co-strategist and not just a copy machine. I will say this clearly. You should literally not be bringing anyone into your business who does not understand AI or wants to understand AI. And this goes all the way to a pet sitter and a dog walker. Whoa, Bella, what did you just say? Yeah, I did just say that, and I'm going to double down on it. And here's why. Because in order for you to run a really great company, a company where you're not burnt out, stressed out, overwhelmed with decisions and ideas, and you don't have any creativity left, you need to adapt AI into it. And you need to have people that also support that. What this looks like as pet sitters and dog walkers is they go, hey, the dog went number 1 and 2. We went out for our walk. She did a really great job today. And that's it. I'll see you next time. And you put it into your GPT, and however you talk in your business, you use number 1, or maybe you say P or PP or whatever it might be, right? You have your own vernacular, and you've already trained your AI that your staff can use on that vernacular. So now your care notes are coming out amazing no matter who does it. Because I know that you've all had that experience like I did, where you have someone who's like a creative writer and someone else who's like a doctor, right? Is like factual scratch. And another one who's like this long flowery message. And so what happens is the clients end up liking the one with the long flowery message. I've done a whole episode on this, like at the beginning of the year. So I'm not going to go too deep into it, but I'm going to say that, like, even down to the pet sitter dog walker, of course, the office manager, you need an office manager who knows just a little bit more about AI than you do, but you need to know AI because you need to be able to hire somebody. They can't just say, oh yeah, I know AI. It's so hard. That's like, yeah, I know social media, or yeah, I know SEO, but do you really? And the hardest part is that when you don't actually know it yourself, it's hard to hire for it. And it's hard to know if someone's doing their job if you don't know. Let me partner with you. Let me show you what that means. This is going to be pivotal or detrimental to you in 2026. Without AI, admin takes more hours. Do you want to pay someone $15 an hour for 10 hours? Or do you want to pay someone $15 an hour for 2 hours? Or third option, do you want to pay someone $30 an hour for 2 hours? Maybe you pay someone with a little bit more, a higher of a wage, which honestly, that's where the world's going right now. Everything is increasing. So if our per hour is increasing, but the time that it takes to do things is decreasing, are we beating inflation? Something to consider. Okay. All right. If I froze your team right now today, and the only thing that changed, you gave every single admin and manager and pet sitter and dog walker real AI skills, how many hours a week do you think you could free up in the business? If the answer is a lot, then your next hire better know AI. Or you better join my community and start getting around me and soaking up the stuff that I'm putting out every single day because I'm so excited about it. So too many of you are still acting like ChatGPT is the entire universe. And that's like insisting that skinny jeans are still in style when the entire world has shifted to open wide leg. I know that's a funny thing, but that's just where we're going today. I want you to understand that you have to have agility. Like, you have to be able to just move throughout all of this, okay? And that means knowing 3 or 4 major tools. It means when you create a GPT, if you are, in ChatGPT that you translate it over to Gemini into a gem and into Claude into a style so that no matter what platform you're working on, it has your little personas or your bots or whatever you want to call them. This is really important because your input on ChatGPT for pictures, like I said earlier, is going to suck. But it's going to be so much better if you're doing it in Gemini using Nano Banana, or you're using Sora, or you're using Veo, which is all Gemini. Which, by the way, if you don't follow me on Facebook, please go follow me right now. Bella Vasta, V like in Victor, ASTA. I spoke last week on my page about this and just about how ChatGPT is like, they literally issued a code red publicly. They said code red. And there's so many things happening. And I talked a lot about why I feel like Gemini and Google products are something that you really need to be getting in on. And I don't just mean Gemini. I mean a lot more than that, okay? I don't know why I'm going into this weird accent. Like maybe you like one model for work, maybe you like another one for long form writing, another one for fast mobile questions. ChatGPT is kind of like the Swiss Army knife, but if I want like specialty, I'm gonna leave ChatGPT and I'm gonna go someplace else. I feel like this is a good chance to mention, if you have not already, you should go to jumpconsulting.net/magi, MAGAI, that's MAGAI. For only $20 a month, you can get access to all the large language models, the LLMs, so the things that write. You can also get access to many image models and many video models. Now, that might sound a little overwhelming, but it's not, because if you use it properly and you put in your own persona, you can now have a persona on every single LLM. You also can get access to all of these things for one monthly price of one, which is $20 a month, I believe it is. And for the first 3 months, you can get 30% off a month for 3 months with my link, jumpconsulting.net/magi, MAGAI. That is Dustin. If you want to hear more about it, you can hear him being interviewed on this podcast. Just go to jumpconsulting.net and type in Magi, and you'll find it. Dustin first came into the mastermind in the beginning of 2024 to teach us how to use it, and has come back in a couple more times. They've got a really great community. It's a great way for you to be able to expose yourself to all of the different really great models without getting overwhelmed with, is this one long-term or short-term? Because anything that Dustin puts in there are like legit ones. So this is a really great story. And I hope it kind of stretches your imagination a little bit. Last week, this is a really, really fun story. My client was completely sick and tired of Hinge, the dating app. And so I told her that we could use AI to help with this. So we downloaded all of her Hinge data, and it included conversations, likes, profile versions, behavior history. And we fed it a strong analytical mode and told it to analyze her patterns, communication style, boundaries, and what she was attracting. And if we can do this with dating data, imagine what we could do with 5 years of your client notes, visit reports, reviews, whatever kind of data you have inside of Timed Pet or Precise Pet Care. What about all of your social media data? So we first had to analyze, and then we explained to it where we wanted to go, what our goal was, and asked it how we needed to adjust. So what we did was we used it as a thought partner. We chatted with it to try to figure that out. And it was pretty amazing. And so I want you to think about, what can you analyze? What access do you have to things? What data that you haven't touched or used because you've been overwhelmed, tired, paralyzed, right? Have no idea what to use. This is a brilliant way. And this is how businesses already are using it. And I don't want you to fall behind. So this is my warning. We all know that there's a lot of people out there that just refuse to use software or stay on paper and will not use a portal or don't really trust technology and they want to back it up with a piece of paper. I mean, that's like Blockbuster mentality right now. Or their marketing looks so generic, or their response times are slow, or they can't iterate on ideas fast enough, or the hiring process is clunky and long and actually off-putting. And then they're wondering, why am I getting ghosted? If anything I just said stings, good, because it means that you still care. It means that you still have time to catch up, but the window where this is optional is closing. And I don't want you to be like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to do this. Guys, I have so much energy. I have so much excitement. And there's so many trainings. Like, I'm waiting for you. Come join us in the community, jumpconsulting.net/mastermind. My commitment is that I will keep experimenting before you have to. I will break it, test it, and come back and let you know what actually works. I will keep doing things like I did last month, and I gave them a client avatar bot and a employee avatar bot where, again, they talk to it for about 45 minutes, explaining exactly what they're looking for and come out with the most amazing avatars for clients and employees. Do you understand how on fire their marketing, their messaging, their hiring is when they are able to have the psychographics of these avatars dialed down? It is like, ooh, baby, it's so good. So I really want to encourage you guys, first of all, like, share, subscribe this episode. I'm not sure if we're going to have another one by the end of 2026, although I will load you up with a nice topic probably next week where you can binge, because we have so many episodes that I love doing that. If you have a topic that you really want to learn about, let me know. I'd be happy to take requests for that. I would love to work with you one-on-one, but before we do that, I think it's really important to get to know each other. So go over to jumpconsulting.net/20, where you can get on my calendar and we can have a 20-minute conversation and I can give you my best direction possible. Or we could work together. This is actually a really good time to remind you that if you've been wanting to update your website, Erica with Barketing is going to be upping her rates in 2026. So I've already got 2 clients in the pipeline right now that went to her. Go to jumpconsulting.net/barketing, BARKETING. Go there and check it out. And I help people with copy. So we do 6 45-minute sessions. We literally write it on Zoom together. You have the recording. You also get to learn how I use AI, which I've been told is like, wow, I didn't know you could do that. That's usually what people say every single time that help them. And so not only do you get to rewrite your whole website in your unique voice that nobody else could wear, because it would be like they're stealing your underwear. Ew, I know, but I wanted to drive home that point. But then you also get that all taken care of without it being another energy suck where you're sitting on the copy for 2, 3, 4 months and you're like, oh my God, I need to get this done. Like, let's get this done. Let's get you started in 2026 amazingly. I'm here for you. And if you're not sure where to start, a really good place would be to get on my calendar, jumpconsulting.net/20, so we could just have a conversation. And I will give you my honest to God truth. If you're not ready for things, or I still think that you need to figure out some stuff, I'm going to be really honest with you. People are shocked sometimes when I tell them, like, don't spend any money. You need to go figure this stuff out first. I'll be honest, because your success is my success. You guys, this has been another episode of Bella in Your Business. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I encourage you to go check out another episode that you might like. Go to, the website and check it out. Otherwise, say hi to me on Instagram or on Facebook, and I'll see you there. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the 2025. And remember, when life gets you down, to always keep jumping. Bye now.